How goes the family? Welcome back to Larry's and Anything Goes. Hopefully you guys are having a decent day, staying safe, practicing your social distancing and all that good stuff. I figured on my way to, going out and facing the world just to get some groceries because, it's crazy times that we're in. Just had a couple things on my mind and I figured I'd just share them with you guys. My little rant for the day. It's been a minute. I'm kind of at a, where do we go from here? I'm optimistic, and hopeful and all that good stuff. I'm not being a pessimist at all, but there's a lot of suffering that's happening now, and there's a lot of suffering that's going to happen later due to what's going on right now. From people, from a medical perspective and from a financial perspective, and, probably even people getting cabin fever at this point, But yeah, it's like there's going to be a lot of suffering going on, and unfortunately, a lot of businesses are not going to recover from this unfortunate thing that's happening right now. I'm not going to talk about it because I've gotten the word that you're not supposed to talk about, it as much anymore on social media, so I won't do it. But like I said, a lot of businesses are going to suffer, unfortunately, in regards to what's happening. And the recovery rates, it's not going to be as big, and this it's kind of like the last recession. A lot was learned from that one, and that was just due to a financial meltdown, and this one's due to what we all know what it is. And who could have foreseen this? So it's just, there's no pointing the finger at anybody nonsense. I mean, nobody could have foreseen this happening, and with things basically being shut down and people, money's not flowing throughout the economy like it used to be. I think money's only really flowing to the necessities, and it shows that a lot of businesses are not recession proofed. To the barbershops, to the salons, to the people that get their nails done, bowling alleys, movie theaters, nothing, restaurants, nothing's recession proof. And a lot of these businesses, unfortunately, are barely even holding on. Even the ones that have delivery services, which is, it's a good thing, because before this issue came about, unfortunately, you already had a lot of things being mobile. It wasn't unheard of to have mobile barbers, mobile anything. Because that's just, especially with the millennial generation, it's just become a new thing. The new norm, not a new thing, the new norm of everything being mobile, from pet grooming, to even vet grooming, doctors. He's like, the crazy thing is, back in the day, my grandparents and great-grandparents' generation, it was just normal for a doctor to come to somebody's house. You know what I mean? And I even heard now that, you even have medical physicians actually doing virtual doctor's appointments, so it's like, and the crazy thing is, with this whole thing happening, there's been more of a virtual push because certain things just have to get done. Certain people have to communicate with people. Certain businesses have to, still function, and so in the efforts of practicing with social distancing, you have, just a lot of people going more virtual, or when it comes to services. I remember, and this was 10 years ago, I remember a gentleman in my neighborhood I used to work with, real nice guy. He was talking about how he has a mechanic come to his house to work on his car, to just do certain specific things. And if it was something actually major that needs to get done, he would just take the car to the mechanic's home, because the mechanic actually just operated. He had a big house, but he wasn't just a normal person just having a big house just so he could show it off to somebody. He actually utilized his house for his business. So, it was actually a home-based business. He just had a little bit more extra room and land so he could just work on cars and whatnot whenever he had, wanted to, because that was his full-time gig. So we're being pushed more into the virtual world now because out of no choice, and usually things happen and stay a specific way because out of no choice. When people are pushed to do it, whether they want to or not. People even in my mom's age range, they're having to utilize technology more, even though they don't want to. But if they want to do certain things, then they have to. They have no choice. Like you have, virtual classes have already been taking place, but now you have more virtual Zumba classes, cardio kickbox classes, the whole nine, whatever, boot camp classes. Everything's being pushed has been pushed to being more virtual, even though things were already there, but even more people are being pushed to that direction because they can't actually be physically face to face with one another. So the thing is like a lot of businesses are not going to be able to come back from this because they weren't prepared financially. And most people couldn't. I mean, who would have first saw what's going on today? So that's why I said I'm not doing you should have known better nonsense. No, because this caught everybody, including myself, by surprise. So with that being said, it's just we have to look at where we're going to go from here. I mean, more and more delivery services, like I said, they've been making money at the wazoo. However, when this is over, then the question is for those that are aren't grinding like I'm trying to, and doing different things, learning different ways to conduct business. What are you doing with all this free time? It's but so much Netflix and Hulu and Amazon Prime one can watch. And then now with them issuing out the stimulus checks, even though, and I'm not being funny, but it's $1,200 in 2020 is not a lot of money. Now, for most people, it can keep some people afloat for a month, 2 months maybe at most, but $1,200 is not a lot of money, And for my people that are still working and are getting that $1,200, are you going to save in it or invest it? That's all I want to hear. For the people that desperately need the money that aren't working, I'm not even talking to you guys because you guys have it way worse. That money can keep you afloat. So I'm not going to say anything derogatory about that. But I'm talking to the people who still have a job, who are getting their stimulus checks. What are you going to do with it? Are you going to save it, which is a smart thing to do, or are you going to invest it, which is another smart thing to do? Either way is good in my book. Or are you just going to blow it on something that has nothing to do with anything? Because the thing is, it's like I said, we live in a society where you have to be ready to make money moves and be ready for the storm when it comes. And the storm is freaking here. The typhoon is here, And like I said, once again, this issue that we have going on right now, to let other people know that, your comfort zone does not exist. Even if you thought it did exist, it does not exist. For a lot of people, they don't even know what the comfort zone is, but most people get comfortable very quickly and get, used to their day-to-day. And this whole situation's taught people that you can never, ever get too comfortable in life because nothing ever stays the same forever. No matter what your situation is in life, no matter where you live at in the world, if you're always the same, around the same people, talking the same thing for the last 5 to 10 years of your life, you got to really reevaluate your priorities, because even me, sometimes I get stuck in that rut and I'm just like, this is my year of execution no matter what. And if you're with me, you're with me. If you're not, then you're not. But I'm not waiting on nobody anymore to get things done and to make things happen. So either you're going to do it or you're not. It's just as simple as that. You with me or you're not. Just keep it simple. So that's my mindset right now. Either you're with me or you're not. So you move forward or you're going to stand still. And so many people love standing still because they're scared. And that's another thing. Fear, you got to start to learn to spit in the eye and in the face of fear. Because if you don't, then if you don't spit into the face of fear, then you're going to end up losing at all at the same time as well. Because fear just keeps people standing still. And I've noticed that growing up in the DMV, a lot of people love to stand still and do the same old minute stuff day to day. And after a while, it just gets old, in my personal opinion. So, just whatever you're doing, stay safe, obviously. Make your money moves, please. If you're getting this extra money while you're still working, do something different. That's all I can say. Do something different. Do something outside the norm. Don't just practice being basic, because that's what everybody's doing. And a lot of people are suffering right now financially because they've stuck being basic. And to me, being basic is acting like it's 1995, but it's 2020, and we're not even that far from 2021. And for a lot of people, 2020 is already a bust because they came into this year with the wrong mindset. And I hope this virus, for the ones that it hasn't affected, because the ones that it has affected and the ones that have perished, rest in peace, because this is no joke. But just stay strong. Keep moving forward, and just think outside of the box, because this whole situation made people have to think outside of the box, whether they wanted to or not. So please definitely subscribe and share, and take care and be safe, family. All right.